All right, so let's talk about scheduling your updated 2023 to 2024 COVID-19 vaccine. The new COVID-19 vaccine has been updated for the 2023 to 2024 season. It's designed to protect against newer COVID-19 variants. So the COVID virus has changed over time, and this new vaccine, the updated vaccine, responds to those changes and better protects you against the newer versions of the COVID virus. So the CDC recommends that everyone who's ages 6 months and older gets an updated COVID-19 vaccine. If you're 6 months to 5 years, you may need 2 or 3, depending on the manufacturer. But if you are 5 and up, you will need 1 dose. You can qualify for additional doses 4 months afterwards if you are 65 plus, or if you are immunocompromised. But generally speaking, if you are between the ages of 5 and 65 and are not immunocompromised, if you get 1 updated dose, you should be up to date. So if you had your last COVID shot before September 12th, 2023, you need to get the updated 2023 to 2024 COVID vaccine because that's when it first became available. You can check your vaccine records, see when your last dose was. If it was before September 12th, 2023, you are due for a new dose of the updated 2023 to 2024 COVID-19 vaccine. And just a note too that the updated vaccine is especially life-saving and therefore, especially important for people who are 65 or older, are pregnant, have an underlying health condition, or have certain disabilities. Everyone should get it. And this is one of our graphics for our new Smart and Brave project by Les. And this has a link to Vaccine Finder, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. We talked about this in October too, but the government has moved to a private system for COVID vaccines. So it means that those who are insured have their vaccines paid for by their insurance, whether it's private insurance or Medicare or Medicaid. But if you are not insured, there are plenty of free options for you. So please do not let that keep you from getting your updated COVID vaccine. Many pharmacies and health centers participate in something called the Bridge Access Program, and you don't really need to know anything about that except that it makes these vaccines free if you're uninsured. So the 2023 to 2024 COVID vaccine is free at many sites for adults and children who are uninsured, and you can search for those specific sites in Vaccine Finder, and we'll look at how to do that. So please don't let being uninsured stop you from getting the updated 2023 to 2024 COVID vaccine. So you can get your flu shots and your updated COVID vaccine at the same time at one location. Apologies, this says booster here. This means the updated 2023 to 2024 COVID shot. Some locations will also offer the following additional shots that you can get at the same time as the COVID shot and the flu shot, including vaccinations for RSV, shingles, and pneumonia, depending on your age and what you qualify for. And it's always worth checking too, if you are insured, to double check that your insurance will cover these additional vaccines. And also asking the site too if they have programs for covering these vaccines if you're uninsured. For these particular vaccines may depend on the site. But again, I'll show you how to find sites that absolutely will give you the updated COVID vaccine for free if you're uninsured. Okay, so how do you find a vaccine location? If you have a primary healthcare provider, check with them first to see if they have the updated COVID vaccine. Some doctors' offices have supplies for their own patients, so it's worth checking on that. If you are a current patient at New York Health and Hospitals, you can call this number to make a primary care appointment, and there you can get your updated COVID vaccine. New York Health and Hospitals, through its own program, offers free COVID vaccinations to people who are uninsured. They also offer free flu shots to people who are uninsured. So if you are a patient there, or if you want to become a patient there, you should have access to both of those for free if you're uninsured. They'll also help with insurance enrollment if you need to do that too. Or, if you want to see all sorts of options, you can visit vaccinefinder.nyc.gov to find a pharmacy or other location near you that's providing the 2023 to 2024 updated COVID-19 vaccine. So let's go through how to do that. And again, this might be review for some of you, but I think it's good to go over this regularly just as a reminder of how to do it and also a reminder of how important it is to get these vaccinations. And it's always good to sort of check back as there are recommendations, whatever you need in the future. If you need a flu shot in the future, just knowing how to do this is really helpful. Vaccinefinder.nyc.gov, you'll see a screen that looks like this. So this is the sort of cell phone view. And to find a location, first you're going to type in your zip code. So we'll use the zip code for the Health Action Center, 10029. Type that in. And then you can click on here where it says insurance. Click on the insurance option that you want to search for. So if you have insurance, you can say accepts insurance. But if you don't have insurance and you want to see the free options for uninsured adults or children, you can click those and you should only see sites that do offer that. So for our purposes, we're going to click on no cost for uninsured adult and click done. That makes sure that all the sites that we're getting are ones that are part of that program that offers the free COVID vaccination for adults who are uninsured. Okay, you can also filter your results by vaccine brand, whether the location provides walk-ups, and whether the location is accessible to people with disabilities. So each of these, this is the brand, this is the walk-ups, this is the disabilities. One thing to note is none of the vaccine brands are recommended over the others. They're pretty interchangeable at this point. It doesn't matter what you got before. So I would say just take whatever is available. None of them are more recommended than others. So you probably won't need to do this. Okay, so once you found a location that you think would work for you, so what we found here is the Duane Reade that's on 106 3rd Avenue. This is one of multiple listings, but this is what came up at the top because it's the closest to the 10029 zip code location. Once you find one that you think looks right for you, you're going to click on schedule appointment. And once you click on schedule appointment, it's going to take you to the pharmacy or clinic's individual page for scheduling that appointment. So it'll take you out of this vaccine finder thing into like the Walgreens scheduler or like the CVS scheduler, depending on what it is. So just know that that's what's going to pop up next. And most of these for drugstores will be relatively similar. They have their own little systems, but it's generally the same information that you'll be entering. Okay, so we chose a Duane Reade Walgreens location. So you'll be asked to enter your zip code, your date of birth, your email, and phone number. And then you'll also be asked to check this box to verify that you can receive text messages about your vaccine appointment. I don't think you have to check that to move forward, but it's helpful if you want to just be reminded of when your appointment is. I did that, I think, when I made an appointment there before, and it's not like they send you text messages all the time. It's really just about the appointment. A quick tip when you're doing this, don't hit the back button on your phone while you're scheduling an appointment, because sometimes it'll take you all the way back to the beginning. So just try and avoid that. It's not a super complex form, so if you go back to the beginning, you can just fill it out again, but the back button can sometimes take you all the way back to the beginning, so just try not to hit that in the process. So next you'll be asked to select up to 4 vaccines. This might actually be a different number of vaccines depending on what you qualify for, but it says it'll tell you in here what the qualifications are. So you can, select other vaccines to get at the same time, including RSV, including flu shot, so you can do those together. Again, check with your insurance or check with the site itself to see if those are covered or if there's any expense for those. But COVID, like I said, this is the one that offers free COVID vaccination if you're uninsured. They may ask you if you want to add a pneumonia vaccine. You can say yes or you can say no thanks. And then you can see what the health conditions or risk factors that would make you sort of be a person who is recommended for a pneumonia vaccine if you want to check that out before you answer. All right, next will be shown the closest location. This was the same location that we saw in Vaccine Finder. They're just confirming that this is the location you want to go to, and you'll click on view times to see what times are available at that location. The good news is since October, I think in October I had all this stuff on these slides that was about, be patient, there might not be an appointment available for a while. Yesterday I went on and went through this process, and there were appointments available for like a half an hour after the time that I was trying to schedule one. There were appointments that day. They're much, much easier to get now. There's not the sort of backlog of appointments. So that was yesterday, Wednesday, and I did this at like 5 o'clock, right? And there were appointments available at 5:45, 6, 6:15, 6:45. Same day. That's great. So you can click on that day if you want to do that day and then see the appointments that are available then, or you can click on future days if you'd like to do a day in the future. That's the little calendar here, and it'll scroll you over the future date, and then you can click on any of these days to see if there are appointments. And I believe that anything with blue here should have appointments available. So that's great. As of yesterday onward, every day has appointments. A much different story than what it was in October. Okay, so once you find a time and a day that works for you, we're going to say 10:15 today, which obviously has already passed, but I was doing this yesterday. So to set that up, you're going to click on the time that works for you. You should see it down here and then say next. Then you'll be asked demographic information. So your first name, last name, gender, race. This is just stuff that's required by the CDC. Once you've answered these, go ahead and hit next. Once everything looks right, you hit book appointment. So you should receive both an email and a text if you check that text box confirming your appointment and providing you with additional details about what to bring with you. If you have insurance, make sure you bring your insurance card and you're booked. That's great. You've taken the step towards getting the updated 2023 to 2024 COVID vaccine. It doesn't require as much patience as it did in October, so you can get it done relatively quickly, or very quickly, actually. So I really encourage you to do this. Just a couple things to remember. The 2023 to 2024 updated COVID vaccine is recommended for everyone 6 months and older, and it protects you against the newest COVID variant. Remember, you can get other vaccines at the same time as your updated COVID vaccine. You'll be given that option when you schedule through one of these drugstores. Also, if you schedule through a clinic, they will probably provide you with that option too. If you have a healthcare provider, check with them first to see if they're offering the updated COVID vaccine. If not, you can use Vaccine Finder to schedule your appointment. And at many locations, like I said, updated COVID vaccines are available for free to people without insurance. Walgreens and Duane Reade and CVS are both contracted with the government to be part of that program. I believe that all locations participate in that and do the free COVID shot for people who are uninsured. I know that all of the locations in East Harlem do, but I think it's nationwide is that all of them participate in that. So please don't let that stop you from getting your updated COVID vaccine. And remember, if you got your last dose before September 12th, 2023, it's time for another one. Stay up to date. This is our Smart Plus Brave logo. And we have a new Smart and Brave webpage. Check that out. There's going to be more information going up on that as the project continues. Okay.